Yes, hello everyone. Very good evening to all of you. Welcome to the platform of Unacademy, India's largest learning platform. A very famous and favorite question to all of you. Am I audible, visible to all of you? Yes, boys and girls. Am I audible, visible to all of you? Okay. Yes, everyone. Once again, very good evening to all of you. Welcome to the platform of Unacademy, India's largest learning platform. Here we are going to provide you daily live classes, live tests, quiz, structure courses, and unlimited access with one subscription. I hope all of you downloaded the app. Those who haven't downloaded the app, please download because special classes and plus classes available only on app. Yes, those who are new here, let me introduce myself. My name is Harshvardhan Singh, and on this platform, I'm going to teach you history, economy, and international relations. Currently, my lecture series on modern India and Indian economy is going on. If you haven't watched it, please watch it. It is available only on YouTube channel UPSC CSE English as well as it is available on Unacademy app. Yes, I'm having 9-year experience in the field of civil services as an educator at Delhi, Pune, and Nagpur. Those who want to connect with me, they can connect with me through Unacademy app and the address is at the rate Harshvardhan Singh for you. Or if you want to know the lecture timings, if you want to have details of it, then you can connect with me by following Unacademy's Telegram channel at Unacademy underscore Harshv10. Yes, boys and girls, these are our top educators. Please do watch the video. It is there for you. Yes, Ashwini, Chaitali, Ankita, PK. Yes, very good evening to all of you. A quick recap of last lecture. Yes, in the last lecture, what we have discussed? We have discussed the part of currency, that is currency part 2. In the currency, we have mentioned about reserve currency. We have mentioned hard currency. We have mentioned soft currency. Yes, boys and girls. Reserve currency, we have mentioned it is a currency which is having tendency to preserve and it played important role in international transaction. For example, dollar, pound, euro, and yen. Along with that, renminbi. It is having the same symbol. Then we discuss about the hard currency. It is having higher demand in the market. It played an important role in international transaction. Yes, and hard currency means all reserve currency are the part of hard currency, but all hard currency are not part of it. Then we mention about, yes, soft currency. Indian currency rupee is a part of it. Yes, then we mention about exchange control. Exchange control means it is a government policy through RBI. There is a control over foreign exchange. Means how much amount of money a person can have. Clear? Then we mention about Dutch disease. Dutch disease, what exactly Dutch disease is? Dutch disease is very simple. When sudden FDI is there, and because of this sudden FDI, prices are up. That is known as appreciation. Yes, revaluation of the currency. In that, prices are gone up, and that is going to affect export. That we have discussed there. Yes, yes, Ramkumar, very good evening. Then we have mentioned very important factor, that is ED. ED is a body which is implementing two act, FEMA as well as PMCLA, Prevention of Money Laundering Act. Yes, Prevention of Money Laundering Act, I think is other way. Is that clear? So we discussed everything in the last lecture. Do you have any question, any query related to the same? Or is that clear? Whatever we have discussed in the last lecture, is that clear to you or still you have a confusion, question, anything? Yes, is there any question? No. Okay. So the next thing we are going to discuss in today's lecture. No, sir. Good. Very good. Yes, PK, you are there. Good. Now, today we are going to discuss the part third of planning process. So, as we have discussed the planning process in basically what we have discussed structure plan, then we have discussed the centralized plan, decentralized plan, district plan, and all we have discussed in previous session. Then we have some brief introduction of the terms and terminologies related to the planning. Regional plan we have mentioned in that. Yes. So other than that, there are several aspects of planning, and today we are going to discuss one of it. So a strategy, maybe this can be a question can be asked in the examination. Strategy of Indian planning till, if they ask, because planning commission was there 2014. Yes, am I right or wrong? Okay. So maybe they can be asked the question strategy of Indian planning till liberalization, or they can ask the question till 2000. Maybe they can ask the question. So what you are going to discuss in that? First of all, first you have to mention the, or you have to introduce it. Of course, planning. Basically, this Indian planning system is based on Nehru-Mahalanobis model. Yes, Nehru-Mahalanobis model. So what's the core of it? We already discussed this point, but still I just want to discuss here. What's the core of it? Focus on public sector investment, and that leads to economic growth. Yes, focus on the public sector investment and economic growth. Clear? Next, along with that, one more important aspect attached to this process known as trickle down effect. This trickle down effect, what exactly this trickle down is, as some of you quite aware of this process of trickle down. What kind of process? So suppose if you poured anything here, then it is going like this. And the last person is here. Clear? Through various means, whatever the things are there, it is going to percolate. That is known as trickle down. Trickle down means basically percolation of the things. So what or how it comes, what and how it comes as a part of economy. So this trickle down effect is an important aspect of early phase of Indian Planning Commission. So what exactly their ideology at that time? That what they said, they focused on public sector, investment in public sector, and that leads to industrialization. Now industries are going to meet. अब भारत में क्या बनने लगे? कारखाने. Yes, इंडस्ट्रीज खड़ी होंगी. अब इंडस्ट्री होगा तो क्या होगा? आउटपुट होगा, चीजें प्रोड्यूस होगी, चीजें प्रोड्यूस होने के बाद उसे बेचोगे, बेचने के बाद पैसे आएंगे. Yes, everyone. So all the industries basically government industry known as PSUs, public sector unit, and whatever they are earning, it is consist of part of national growth. Industrialization is going to promote growth, national growth. This national growth leads to national saving. How it is so? Because who is the owner of company? Government. Who is producing that? Government. Who is taking the profit? Government. But what government is? Government is you and me. We elect the people as our representative. means when government earns the profit, when government earns the profit, this profit belongs to everyone. This profit belongs to everyone, and that increase the national saving. So this national saving led economic growth. How it is so? Yes everyone. How it is so? जैसे हमने अभी ये डायग्राम आपको बताई है कि किस तरीके से इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ होगी. So what we have mentioned, first establishment of PSUs. PSUs produce the things that is known as national growth. Clear? National growth led to national saving, and this savings led to economic growth. But how it is so? My question is right now, how national saving is going to promote economic growth? Yes everyone, how it is so? Am I audible to you? As there is a no response from your side, so it's like, am I audible? If am I, then please let me know the answer. Yes, what? Yes, Lotus. Sir, why you start class late? Always. Oh my god, always. Good. It's okay. I'm really sorry for that. Sorry for inconvenience caused by me. Yes, Ankita. There will be spending from the people in the market. It's very simple, boys and girls. Yes, demand will be there, money flow in the market. National savings. This national saving is basically saving with the government, and government is going to invest in welfare scheme. And don't you think so? Welfare policy, infrastructure development, that is again going to produce economic growth. That is spending, so spending capacity. Yes, exactly. Yes, PK. By rotating the saving of people. Exactly. Now you get it. Yes, everyone. Yes, Neha, demand and expenditure will be there. Good. So now you get it, what exactly this trickle down effect is. So this introduction, the strategy for Indian planning. First, Indian planning is based on Nehru-Mahalanobis model. It is based on the PSUs, investment and economic growth. Trickle down effect was an important aspect of it in initial period, and it is based on import substitution approach. Means what? Import substitution. Yes, do you have any idea, any guess related to import substitution? Yes, everyone, do you have any guess, any idea related to import substitution? Any guess from your side? Okay, so import substitution approach. What exactly import substitution approach is? It promotes, yes, it promotes the indigenous production. It promotes indigenous production. Next important thing, it is an approach to provide alternative for import, cause having less foreign reserve, blocking imports and increasing the demand of domestic product. Okay, please pay attention here. It promotes the indigenous production and it is an approach to provide alternatives for import. Why it is so? Just to preserve forex? No. It is, yes, remember one thing. It is one of the factor, but it is not the important and prime factor for it. Import substitution option or approach, this is to make country self-sufficient. It is not just related to forex restriction or forex saving. The most important aspect of import substitution, that's why we use the word alternative for imports. We are not banning it. We are providing the alternative so that we can be self-sufficient. Get it? Yes, boys and girls. Get it? Next, this promotes a kind of closed economy. Yes, of course, nowadays it is known as Atmanirbhar Bharat. Earlier it was known as Self-Reliant Bharat. And these things are there. Make in India and all. ये चलते रहता है ये सारी. This promotes a kind of closed economy approach. What is closed economy? An economy had limited contacts with the world. Limited contacts with the world, and this contact is in the form of import and export. This in the form of import and export. Why it is kind of closed kind of economy? Because demand and supply is there fulfilled within an economy. That's why the word is used as a closed kind of economy. Do we have closed kind of economy right now in India? Yes, boys and girls. A very simple question I ask you. Whether in India do we have closed kind of economy at present? Of course not, because we dropped this thing. Nowadays, India is following the policy of open market. We are open for all as well as we are open to invest abroad. Clear? Now we don't have that approach. So this point is clear to you, everyone. Import substitution option is clear. Along with the closed kind economy, these two terms are clear to you. Import substitution, it doesn't mean just to save forex. The most important aspect is to promote indigenous production and provide it as an alternative for imports. Next thing, trickle down effect. As we have discussed the trickle down effect earlier, but now in terms of definition, what exactly it is? It refers to benefits of higher economic growth percolate down. It refers to benefits of higher economic growth percolates down. It provides the solution for various socio-economic problems. Yes, Ankita, but it is not a long-term aspect. It can be act as a short-term aspect. As Ankita mentioned, to promote self-reliance in the present situation, import duties can be raised. It can be a short-term aspect. It can be short-term measure, but it cannot be considered as a long-term. Why it is so? Why it is so? Because you know in English it is the word tit for tat. If you are going to increase the import duty, we are going to do the same for you. And what you're going to do? Let's take example of India and China. It is India and it is China. And India said, no, we are not going to allow Chinese product and we are going to raise the import duty. It's okay, you can. But India is also having trade with China. And the most important article is pharmaceutical industry. Along with that, software industry. So if China is increase their import duty, don't you think so? It acts as a double-edged sword for both. It is going to hamper the Indian trade interest more than Chinese. Clear? Yes, Ankita, is that clear to you? Good. Now, here we are. This trickle-down effect, it provides a solution for various socio-economic problems. Like, like what? कि बहुत सारे सोशो इकोनॉमिक प्रॉब्लम्स जो है उन प्रॉब्लम को ये पूरी तरह से समाप्त कर देता है या फिर उससे सहूलियत देता है. So what kind of socio economic problems? A very simple thing. Very simple. Yes, Ashwini, exactly. Poverty, unemployment, then of course lack of education. So these are the problems were there in India, and this trickle down effect is considered, yes, I use the word is considered as the solution for these problems prevalent in Indian society. As percolation, I have mentioned that this is suppose input in this jar. There are various wings of it, and finally it reaches to the last man or last man or last woman. What Ankita said, but what does it mean by higher economic growth? Higher economic growth percolate down. Ankita, let me tell you one example. Here is you. And you, I considered you are a studious girl. You became any particular person, for example, IAS. सोच के खुशी मिलती है, अच्छा है, पढ़ के और ज्यादा मिलेगी. So after your hard work, you're going to achieve this thing, IAS. Now you have enough knowledge. What you're going to do? You have knowledge. Now you have money as well, because government is going to provide you salary. You have money, you have knowledge. What you are going to do with that knowledge? Yes, Ankita, this question is particularly for you, as you have, in this case, you are IAS, a hard-working, studious girl became IAS. What she is going to do? What you are going to do? Just enjoy the life, or you are going to show us the same? ये मेरा एकेडमी है, ये मेरा कैंटीन है, और वहाँ पे हम चाय पी रहे हैं. Is that the case? Or whether you want to share your knowledge or your money with others, those who are considered as needy? Yes, Ankita, I completely agree with you. Right now, whatever the knowledge you are having, you are going to implement somewhere. You're going to share that. You're going to share that thing. You're going to share whatever the money you are having. I'm not saying you are having thousands and crores of rupees. Whatever the money you are having, you're going to share with the people, as you have ample of that, so that it get benefited those who are needy. It doesn't mean only poor required it. It is required for those who are. Let me tell you, as you have knowledge, you share your knowledge with one of your junior. Your junior became enlightened, and this person started a profession known as teacher. This person is going to enlighten others. They are going to enlighten others with the idea. Can we consider it as a percolation of your knowledge? Yes, Ankita. Now it is clear what exactly the higher economic growth. Just replace you with the government. You with the government. IS with institution like PSU. This PSU is going to provide employment. Don't you think so? They are going to provide taxes as well as they are going to provide employment. This employment, this person is dependent on that money. This person is going to feed his own family. His family is going to serve the purpose. Now you get it. The taxes are along with the use for the benefits of society. That is known as trickle down effect, percolation. धीरे 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 अलग अलग माध्यमों से वो समाज के निचले तबके तक चीजें पहुंच जाती हैं. Clear? Now it is clear. I think so. You don't have any problem, any question. Yes. So it is clear. Trickle down effect is clear. Now, strategy of Indian planning, as we are discussing the topic strategy of Indian planning since beginning. First thing, during the first 5-year plan, there is no specific strategy. Why? Yes, boys and girls, why there is no specific strategy in first 5-year plan? If you know that, you will get to know that India suffered partition at that time. Clear? Our economy was not strong. India was facing so many problems at that time. So it's not possible for us. And we had a legacy of colonial past. And I'm really happy our founder fathers and mothers of New India never cried for the legacy they got when they assumed the power. They had so many problems. Illiteracy was there, poverty was there, partition was there, million lost life. Nothing was there. At that time, these all problems were there, and that's why we did not have that much time. Most important aspect or focus at that time, that is food. Food was important, and that's why in first 5-year plan we focused on agriculture and irrigation projects. And this thing I already discussed with you, which were the dams created by or erected during the first 5-year plan. Clear? We have discussed that thing. And a very famous statement of Jawaharlal Nehru, please remember it throughout your life. Anything else can wait, but not agriculture. Clear? So in second 5-year plan, we get enough time. Now we settled the issues of partition and other. Now we get the time, and after that we had a model known as Nehru Mahalanobis model, and we mentioned that this model is based on industrialization. So this model focused on industrialization. It emphasized on basic and heavy industries, and here the public sector played an important role. That is, state sponsored institution played an important role in industrialization. Yes, everyone, is that clear? This is a broad aspect, that is Nehru Mahalanobis model based on industrialization. These industries are public sector unit, and they focused on basic and heavy industry, and this Nehru Mahalanobis model based on import substitution approach. It is based on import substitution option. So this broad approach of Nehru Mahalanobis model followed in third and fourth 5-year plan, यानी तीसरा और चौथा जो पंचवार्षिक योजनाएं थी, तीसरी और चौथी, इसमें जो दूसरी पंचवार्षिक योजना में जो भी उद्दिष्ट रखे थे, जो भी टारगेट्स रखे थे, उन सभी चीजों को कंटिन्यू किया गया। यानी किस पे तवज्जो दिया गया? सरकारी संस्थानों पे। क्लियर? Yes, is that clear to you? Yes, Ankita. Yes, PK. Exactly. Okay. Yes. Those who haven't taken subscription of Unacademy, please have the subscription of Unacademy, because here we are going to provide you more than 15,000 courses for UPSC CSE. Yes, everyone. We are going to provide you option of plus as well as iconic. Remember one thing, your subscription is important for us. Without your support, it is not possible for us to present such a video lecture. Clear? So for 1 year subscription of plus, it will cost around 44,550 after using my code Harshvi10, as well as for a year, if you want to take the iconic subscription, it will cost around 67,050 after using my code, because my code gives you 10% discount as well as you're going to count as that. Please subscribe to Unacademy. Yes, everyone, these are the batches we are going to launch from 18th February According to your own convenience, please do join these batches. We are going to provide you combo offer as well for year iconic subscription of GS as well as optional. It will cost around 88,705. And the same way, if you want to take both plus subscription for GS and optional, it will cost around 70,103. These are my special classes. Here we are not just going to discuss the syllabus and other section. Here we are going to discuss the MCQ strategies, along with that mains question and answer, along with the answer format, how to write the answer. We all going to discuss here in special classes. And please do not miss it. If you miss it, it is available there, and please follow me on Unacademy app as well so that you will get to know the details of special classes. Yes, everyone. A strategy of Indian planning for fourth 5-year plan. Fourth 5-year plan. So fourth 5-year plan, there are a very minute variation is there. What kind of minute variation is there? Fourth 5-year plan focused on quick yielding projects. As now we already established ourselves very well, we registered positive growth rate. It is known as Hindu growth rate at that time. It registered 3% annual growth. So now once we established the basic industry, now we slightly shifted our strategy, and the fourth 5-year plan is basically focused on those projects known as quick yielding projects like light industries. Light industry. This, remember, fourth 5-year plan is important because it shows some variation from the broad goals which were defined in Nehru-Mahalanobis model. Nehru-Mahalanobis model was not dropped, it is continued but with some minor changes. Means what we have mentioned, again I am going to repeat, fourth 5-year plan focused on quick yielding projects like light industry along with basic and heavy industry. As this question was previously asked in UPSC examination, and we already covered this question when we had MCQ on Indian economy. Along with that, this question also asked in UPSC Prelims. Remember one thing, fifth 5-year plan is having two phases, and why it is so? Because election was there, and after election defeat of then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, and after her defeat a new government was formed, and it was the first non-Congress government formed at that time. So the fifth 5-year plan is important because it is having two phases, first and second. Yes, everyone. So what exactly the fifth 5-year plan is there? The broad aspect of Nehru-Mahalanobis model continue, that is focused on basic and heavy industries, but focused on most important issue of that time, that is poverty. You know that then Prime Minister during her election campaign she called about elevation of poverty, elevation, गरीबी हटाओ, सुना सुना सा नारा होगा और गरीबी हट गई। ये नारा सुनते ही हमारे भारत की गरीबी हट गई। लोगों ने कहना शुरू कर दिया पैसे से भले ही हम गरीब होंगे, दिल से बड़े अमीर हैं, क्योंकि हमारे प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने कहा है गरीबी हटाओ। हमने मन की गरीबी हटा दी। इज दैट सो? दो वी gave such slogan, but still poverty is there. Of course, we tried some measures, and because of that, we reduced it. Yes, and that reduction is a noticeable. We reduced it, but we failed to eliminate it. Clear? So, as you know that during that election, she suffered defeat. After that, the second 5-year plan was there. Sorry, the second phase of fifth 5-year plan was there, and it is based on Gandhian plan. It is also known as Sarvodaya. This plan is also known as Sarvodaya. So tell me one thing, as we have discussed this Gandhian plan and Sarvodaya plan in our, um, I think, part 2 of planning process. What exactly this Ghanaian plan is? As we have mentioned, import substitution option, Nehru Mahalanobis model, it focused on industrialization, basic and heavy industry. Now what about it? Ghanaian plan. What kind of approach they adopted here? क्या लगता है? अरे कोई जवाब नहीं, क्या बात कर रहे हैं? इतना मुश्किल है वो? अरे गांधी जी ने क्या कहा है? Gandhian plan, Gandhi. Always remember, Gandhi said one thing: go back to villages. चलो भाई गाओ चलो. ये शहरों में कुछ मजा नहीं है. चलो गाओ. So basically, Gandhian plan is based on village and khadi and village industry, handloom industry. So this plan is focused on that. Gandhian plan is focused on decentralization. गांव में जाना है तो क्या करोगे भाई? हैं? हल चलाओगे? आप हल चलाओगे तो बैल क्या काम करेगा? बात सही है. It is very simple. Gandhian plan is focused on village-based industry. It focused on decentralized approach because you know that the planning approach is a highly centralized approach. So this Gandhian plan, they tried to introduce the decentralized planning in India. Yes, exactly. Yes, very good, Ankita. Ankita Chetrali, development of cottage industry, very good. Ashwini, expansion of small unit production, decentralization, very good. Shash, yes, PK, very good. Agriculture development. So basically focus on that aspect. But you know what? This government, the Janta government, it is known as the Janta government, failed to continue their tenure. Why? Again, election takes place. After that election, the same lady which was defeated by the people now again she regained the power, and that leads to sixth 5-year plan. This sixth 5-year plan is important. Why it is so? Just for continuation of Nehru Mahalanobis model. It is there, it's okay. But this plan accepted the limitations of trickle down. Means this plan first time made it clear that this trickle down effect is having limitation, means higher growth doesn't, or what we can say, means we cannot make it as a synonym with solving the socio-economic problem. यानी देश के पास बहुत ज्यादा पैसा है इसका मतलब देश की गरीबी खत्म हो जाएगी ऐसा नहीं. इसका मतलब रोजगार बढ़ेगा ये भी नहीं. क्लियर? क्योंकि देश के पास पैसा किसी व्यक्ति के पास भी पैसा हो सकता है. वो जब आप नेशनल इनकम काउंट करते हो तो इट इज नॉट जस्ट इनकम ऑफ गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया, इट इज द इनकम ऑफ thousands of people, millions of people. Clear? So this sixth 5-year plan, now they accepted the limitations of trickle down effect. So the main model, that is Nehru Mahalanobis model, broad goals were continued not just in sixth but also in seventh 5-year plan. This broad aim is continued, that is Nehru Mahalanobis model continued. Yes, is there any question? Any query? Yes, boys and girls. Is there any question, any query related to the same? कोई सवाल है किसी को? नहीं. Good. This is an also important plan for us, that is 8th 5-year plan. As we have mentioned, which plan is important? Second 5-year plan is important from question point of view in UPSC. Fourth 5-year plan is important. Fifth, part 1, part 2 is important. Sixth 5-year plan is important. Why? Limitations of trickle down, accepted, and then 8th 5-year plan. So these are those plans which are very important from prelims point of view, because factual questions are comes from these particular plans, क्योंकि इसमें कुछ ना कुछ खास है. So now the 8th 5-year plan, the broad approach completely dropped. That means 8th 5-year plan dropped Nehru-Mahalanobis model. That means it also dropped import substitution approach. Am I right? मैंने ये लिखा है, मैंने ये नहीं कहा कि ये सही है. I just wrote it. I didn't mention whether it is right. I ask you, after writing all these things, a very simple question. Am I right? That is 8th 5-year plan, they dropped the broad approach completely. That means they dropped Nehru-Mahalanobis model. That means import substitution approach as well. What do you say? Ankita said she is agree with me. What about you? The only lady is agree with me. I didn't ask you, Chaitrali, the next step. Yes? Yes, exactly. They dropped it. As it is mentioned, the broad approach completely dropped. It means they ended the possibility of Nehru-Mahalanobis model and Nehru-Mahalanobis model based on import substitution option. That means providing alternative for all. यानी तुम कार बना रहे हो तो हम भी कार बनाएंगे, तुमने साबुन बनाए तो हम भी साबुन बनाएंगे, तुमने टिकिया बनाई तो हम भी टिकिया बनाएंगे. So it was that approach. It is no need to do that. And we understood here right now. So 8th 5-year plan, we basically abandoned the previous approach. Next, we redefine role of PSU. Earlier, we were heavily dependent on them. Now we redefine. And this plan basically defined the unit, like those who are performing well, those who are performing in general, and those who are considered as a sick unit. Such kind of redefining of public sector was there. Means whether we are going to continue that or not, it is totally dependent on the role of public sector. how they are going to perform well. Clear? So 8th 5-year plan redefined the role of public sector. Along with that, they also emphasize on private sector because Nehru Mahalanobis model gave more attention to public sector than private sector. But what happened after 8th 5-year plan? We started appreciating the role of private player in national development or in the development of nation. So here we can see one important aspect, that is shift from import substitution. So this shift is basically shift from import substitution to export led growth. Export led growth. This model, this export led growth, this model is known as Rao Manmohan model. And you know who was Rao and who is Manmohan Singh. So it is not a big deal. Is that clear to you? Is that clear to you? The 8th 5-year plan is clear to you? Good. Now, what exactly they adopted then? What exactly they adopted? They adopted one important aspect in 8th 5-year plan, and that is known as LPG, जिसकी prices आज ही बढ़ गई है. It is not the same LPG. This is basically liberalization. Privatization, globalization, and one more word is there, marketization. Clear? Liberalization, privatization, globalization, and marketization. So this is all known as export-led growth, and India focused on it. So the 5-year plan is a shift. It is completely shift from the previous, and new thing is known as export-led growth. Export-led growth. Clear? And do you know one thing, that why India changed its approach from closed kind of economy to open? It is not by will, it is by force. And why that force was? The force was basically from international organization like IMF, because India was in financial crisis, and at that time IMF provided us a type aid, that is aid given in the form of condition, and that condition was India has to open their market for all players. Clear? And that's why India opened their market, and we don't have choice because our economy was in worst phase at that time. Is that clear to you? Yes, is that clear to you, boys and girls? LPG model is clear. I think almost all of you read this thing very frequently. Next thing, decentralized planning during 5-year plan. What about 9th? What about 10th? What about 11th, 12th? Nothing significant changes there. They all are normal, and the data, factual data is given in the book, and we are not going to discuss the whatever the things which are mentioned in book as a fact. Clear? So decentralized planning during 5-year plan. What exactly this decentralized planning? Do you know that? Yes, everyone. Do you know what decentralized planning is? क्या आप लोगों को कुछ पता है कि क्या होता है ये decentralized planning? क्या भारत में ऐसा हुआ था? क्या भारत में ऐसा कभी हुआ था? Or whether decentralization is an integral and inherent part of Indian planning process. Chaitrali said, don't know. What about others? क्या लगता है आप लोगों को? Decentralized planning during 5-year plan. Whether is there any such a decentralization planning present in India? Of course, it was there. It is there. Though we changed the planning process, means planning commission to Niti Aayog, but decentralization is an important aspect of it. And this decentralization planning is known as Panchayati Raj Institution. This is a very simple aspect. Panchayati Raj Institution. It may be in the form of It may be in the form of village level, or it may be in the form of city level. That means towns, cities, etc. So it is there. How it is developed? Yes. How much funds are allotted for that, and what kind of efforts we had taken for decentralized planning, we are going to discuss in next lecture, next session. Yes, so whatever the things we have discussed till now, do you have any question? Yes, boys and girls, do you have any question related to the same? क्या आप में से किसी को भी कोई समस्या है, कोई परेशानी है ये समझने में, जो भी टॉपिक हमने आज सीखा है? Do you have any question? Because in the planning we are not just going to discuss this decentralized approach, we are going to discuss important questions as well, like impact of planning we are going to discuss. Along with that, one important thing, that is relevance of planning in relevance of planning in the world of liberalization, privatization, and globalization. Wait, Ashwini, we are going to discuss that. What is decentralized planning, when it was established? We are going to discuss that. So, in the planning, we are going to discuss this in next lecture. Along with that, in coming lectures, we are going to discuss these aspects, because these questions can be asked in the mains examination. When I provide you the factual details, remember these factual details are important from prelims point of view. But when we are going to discuss the questions like impact of this particular thing, relevance of it, and all, these are important from mains point of view. I hope I clarify all your doubts. Yes, boys and girls, I clarify all your doubts. Okay. An important announcement for you. Yes, everyone. February 20 and 21st, there is Unacademy Summit in association with Hindu. Please register. It is important for you. Please enroll yourself. 2 days. It is there, more than 70 iconic speakers are there. Just take a part in that. You will get to know many more things in that. Do not forget that is Unacademic Combat is there on 28th February 11 a.m. Yes, 28 तारीख 11 बजे Unacademic Combat is there. Yes, so that's all for today's lecture. Thank you very much for your valuable time. If you want to connect with me, please contact with me through Telegram channel at unacademy_Harshvardhan. Please subscribe to Unacademy because your support is important for us. Without your support, it's really difficult for us to present video lecture. If you like the lecture, please like it, share it, subscribe it. Along with that, please dedicate the hats which you are having because पहनना तो आपको है नहीं. If you really think so that my way of teaching is a good or if you liked it, then please dedicate that. That's all from my side. Thank you very much. Good night. Take care. Stay safe. Bye bye.